He almost gags as the crunch echoes in his mouth. "There's no way I just ate that," he says, eyes wide, trying to process what just happened. The man across from him doesn't even flinch. "You did," he replies calmly, "and your body will thank you for it." Silence hangs in the air. His name is Ryan, and in that moment, everything he thought he knew about food begins to collapse. Just minutes earlier, he had laughed when he was told what was on the plate. "You expect me to eat insects?" he had said, shaking his head. "That's not food." But now, here he is, chewing, thinking, confused. "What was that?" he finally asks. The guide leans back slightly. "Grasshopper," he says. "High protein, low fat, packed with nutrients." Ryan swallows slowly. "It didn't taste bad." The guide smiles. "That's where the story begins." The tension builds immediately. Ryan looks around. Other people are eating calmly, some even enjoying it. "Why doesn't everyone know about this?" he asks. The guide shrugs. "Because people judge before they understand." That line sticks. The journey begins. They move to a local market, where trays of edible insects are displayed openly. Ryan stops in front of a pile of roasted crickets. "No way," he mutters. The vendor laughs. "First time?" Ryan nods. "Try one," the vendor insists. He hesitates. "Just one." Ryan slowly picks one up, staring at it. "This feels wrong," he says. "Or new," the vendor replies. That hits differently. He takes a breath and eats it. Crunch. He freezes, then blinks. "It tastes like nuts?" he says, surprised. The vendor nods. "Exactly." The realization begins to crack his mindset. If you've ever thought something was strange before even trying it, this is your moment. Hit the like button and subscribe, because what you're about to discover will completely change how you see food. The journey escalates. Next, Ryan is introduced to mealworms. "These?" he says, raising an eyebrow. The guide nods. "Rich in protein, vitamins, and healthy fats." Ryan crosses his arms. "You're serious?" "Very." A small dish is handed to him, seasoned, lightly cooked. "Try it," the guide says. Ryan hesitates again. "Why does this feel harder than it should?" "Because you've been conditioned," the guide replies. He exhales slowly, then eats. A pause. Then his eyes widen slightly. "That's actually good," he admits. The guide nods. "You're starting to understand." The tension deepens. Ryan begins asking questions. "So how nutritious are these really?" he asks. The guide leans forward. "Some insects contain more protein than beef, more iron than spinach." Ryan freezes. "You're kidding." "I'm not." The shift becomes serious. This isn't just about trying something new. It's about realizing something powerful. The journey continues. He's introduced to termites next. "These are eaten in many places," the guide explains. Ryan shakes his head slowly. "This is crazy." "Or normal, depending on where you are," the guide replies. Ryan watches as they are prepared. "Why don't we eat these where I come from?" he asks. "Perception," the guide answers, "not logic." That line hits hard. Ryan tries them. Crunch. He pauses, then nods slowly. "Okay, I didn't expect that." The emotional shift is happening. What once felt impossible now feels normal. The escalation continues. Ryan sits down later, reflecting. "All this time," he says quietly, "I thought food had limits." The guide looks at him. "Food has no limits. Only people do." That realization lands deeply. The journey intensifies again. Ryan is shown ants next. Tiny, but powerful. "They contain acids that give a unique flavor," the guide explains. Ryan looks unsure. "This is getting extreme." The guide smiles. "Or interesting." Ryan tries them. His reaction is immediate. "That's tangy." "Exactly," the guide says. Ryan laughs slightly. "I didn't expect that at all." The fear is gone now, replaced by curiosity. If you're still watching, you're already ahead of most people, so don't forget to like and subscribe, because the next part will challenge everything you believe about nutrition. The emotional peak builds. Ryan begins to see the bigger picture. "This could solve food shortages," he says slowly. The guide nods. "It already is in many places." Ryan looks up. "So the world has had this solution and ignored it?" "Yes." Silence follows. The weight of that truth settles in. The turning point arrives. Ryan stands, more confident now. "I judged something I didn't understand," he admits. The guide nods. "Most people do." Ryan looks at the food again, not with fear, but with respect. "This isn't strange," he says. "It's just unfamiliar." The transformation is complete. Now the story turns to you. How many powerful things have you ignored simply because they felt unusual? How many opportunities are hidden behind your first reaction? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This conversation matters. If this story changed your perspective even a little, hit the like button so more people can discover this truth. Share this with someone who says, "I could never eat that." You might surprise them. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next part of this journey goes even deeper into foods you never imagined could change your life. Because the truth is simple. Sometimes, what you fear the most is exactly what you need to understand. Ryan doesn't laugh anymore. That's the first thing the guide notices the next morning. There's no hesitation in his eyes now, only focus. "You're ready," the guide says. Ryan nods slowly. "Yesterday changed something," he replies. "I don't want to just taste anymore. I want to understand." The guide smiles. "Good, because today you'll see what most people refuse to see." They move quickly, deeper into the experience. In Thailand, the markets are louder, more alive. This time, Ryan doesn't step back, he steps forward. A vendor holds up fried crickets again. "You've had these," the guide says. Ryan shakes his head. "Not like this." The vendor adds spices, tosses them in a pan, and hands them over. Ryan takes a bite. Crunch. He nods immediately. "That's better than yesterday." The vendor laughs. "You see now." Ryan turns to the guide. "It's not just survival food. It's actually enjoyable." "Exactly," the guide replies. "People don't realize that." The escalation builds. They move to another stand. Silkworm pupa. Ryan pauses. "This one looks harder." The guide watches him carefully. "What are you feeling right now?" Ryan exhales. "Old fear." "And what did you learn about that?" the guide asks. Ryan looks at the food again. "It's usually wrong." He takes it, eats it. His reaction is slower this time, more thoughtful. "It's rich," he says. "Different, but not bad." The guide nods. "You're not reacting anymore. You're analyzing." That shift matters. If you've made it this far, you're already seeing what most people miss. So hit that like button and subscribe, because what's coming next will challenge everything you believe about food and survival. The journey intensifies. They travel next to Mexico, where Ryan is introduced to chapulines again, but this time prepared traditionally. A local chef looks at him. "First time?" Ryan shakes his head. "Second, but I want to understand it." The chef smiles. "Then you're ready." He seasons them carefully, explaining each step. "These are not just food," the chef says. "They are culture." Ryan listens closely. "So this isn't new here?" "No," the chef replies. "It's ancient." Ryan takes a bite. His reaction is instant. "That's incredible." The chef nods. "Now you understand." Ryan smiles slightly. "Yeah, I think I do." The emotional connection deepens. This isn't just about eating anymore. It's about respect. The escalation rises again. In Ghana, Ryan watches as palm weevil larvae are cooked over open heat. He doesn't step back this time. Instead, he steps closer. "What makes these special?" he asks. A local man responds, "Energy, strength, nutrition." Ryan nods. "So people rely on this?" "Yes," the man says. "It's part of life." Ryan takes one, eats it without hesitation. He pauses, then nods slowly. "I get it now." The guide watches him carefully. "Say it." Ryan looks up. "This isn't strange. It's smart." That moment lands hard. The transformation is complete. The emotional peak builds even higher. Ryan sits later, reflecting again, but this time, his tone is different. "All this time, people have been searching for better food solutions," he says, "and this has been here the whole time." The guide nods. "Hidden in plain sight." Ryan clenches his hands slightly. "No. Ignored." That word carries weight. The journey pushes forward. In Brazil, Ryan meets a chef using ants in fine dining. "Wait," Ryan says, surprised. "This is high-end?" The chef smiles. "Of course." Ryan watches as the ants are placed carefully onto a dish. "Try it," the chef says. Ryan does. His reaction is immediate. "That's citrusy." The chef nods. "Exactly." Ryan laughs slightly. "I never thought I'd say this, but this is actually amazing." The guide looks at him. "Now imagine if more people understood this." Ryan's expression shifts. "They'd stop wasting time judging," he says. The realization becomes powerful. Now the story turns toward you again. Think about this. How many things have you rejected without ever trying them? How many opportunities have you ignored because they felt unfamiliar? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is bigger than food. If this story is opening your mind, hit the like button so more people can discover this truth. Share this with someone who says, "I could never." You might change their perspective. And don't forget to subscribe, because the final part of this journey will reveal something even deeper. Because Ryan's story doesn't end with food. It ends with a question that might change how you see everything. And that question is simple. What else have you been wrong about your entire life? Ryan stares at his reflection that night, quieter than before, but sharper. "I thought I understood the world," he says under his breath. "But I've been seeing only a fraction of it." The guide standing behind him nods slowly. "Most people do." Ryan turns. "Then why doesn't this go mainstream? Why isn't everyone talking about this?" The guide steps closer. "Because change doesn't start with everyone. It starts with a few people willing to question everything." That line settles deep. The next morning, the final journey begins. Not to a new country, but to a new level of understanding. They sit across from a nutrition expert in Netherlands, where research on edible insects is growing rapidly. Ryan leans forward. "I've tasted them. I've seen cultures use them, but I need to understand the truth. Are they really that powerful?" The expert nods. "Yes. Insects like crickets and mealworms contain complete proteins, essential amino acids, iron, zinc, even healthy fats. In some cases, they outperform traditional meats." Ryan's eyes narrow. "So this isn't just an alternative. It's an upgrade?" "In many ways," the expert replies. Ryan leans back, stunned. "Then what's stopping the world?" "Mindset," the expert answers instantly. Silence. That word echoes. The final escalation begins. Ryan walks through a facility where insect-based foods are being processed. Flour, protein bars, snacks. "This looks normal," he says. "Exactly," the guide replies. "The future won't look like insects. It will look like food you already recognize." Ryan pauses. "That's how change happens," he says quietly. not by forcing people, but by evolving what they accept. The guide smiles. Now you're thinking differently. The emotional peak rises. Ryan sits alone later, reflecting one last time. This journey wasn't about insects, he says slowly. It was about perception. The guide watches him. Go on. Ryan continues. I rejected something powerful just because it felt unfamiliar. The guide nods. And now? Ryan looks up, eyes steady. Now, I question everything. That's the final shift. The story reaches its highest point. Ryan stands, no longer the same person from the beginning. This could change food systems, he says. Health, sustainability, everything. The guide responds calmly. It already can. The question is, will people accept it? Ryan exhales deeply. That's where it gets hard. The guide nods. Because people don't fear what's harmful. They fear what's different. That truth lands harder than anything else. Now the story turns to you, one final time. Think about it carefully. What have you dismissed in your life, not because it was wrong, but because it was unfamiliar? What opportunities are sitting right in front of you, disguised as something you don't understand yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is bigger than food. It's about how you see the world. If this story changed your perspective, even a little, hit the like button so more people can discover this powerful truth. Share this with someone who says, that's not for me. You might open their mind. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might challenge something you've believed your entire life. Ryan takes one last look at the plate in front of him. Once strange, now understood. He picks it up without hesitation. Crunch. No fear, no doubt, just clarity. Because in the end, the biggest barrier isn't what you're eating. It's what you believe.